What is happening, rock people and various music listeners? Got another update, got some records, few CDs and some videotapes. Let's start with the CDs. First up we have Hymns in the Desert, Die Laughing. Now, I don't know if this is a metal album. It does have a parent controversial. The only problem is I have a horrible feeling this might be a rap album. If it is, this is going to go straight into the bin and will probably be a case of goodbye, throw it away, I don't give a flying bleep about that. But it depends. Anyway, if that fails, I do have this one, Anthrax, The Collection. Now, of course, I do like Anthrax. My first ever Anthrax listening was their first album, Fistful of Metal. Brilliant album. And I've found a few others then. This one is really nice indeed. Has some good tracks on it, as you can see from there. Sadly though, I have a little MP3 player. In fact, I do actually have it with me. I'll show you that. It's over here. Sadly, my little MP3 player that I usually put all my music onto, this little thing, I don't know whether the cable that it's connected to is dead or whether the actual box is. Like I say, this is the box, but it's basically not charging. It's accepting a charge for a few seconds, then coming up with a cable error, and it's just not showing. It is a shame, because I love to listen to this, and I've had this for nearly 10 years now. Probably 9, 8, but like I say. Anyway, moving on, let's get on with the records. First of all, we have Pledger's Playmate, featuring Tony Pledger playing the Thomas Playmate. This is a organ album, electric organ. It's in very good condition. I think this is one of those welcome to buying your very first Pledger's Playmate electric organ sort of album. You can learn how to play this and this, because it even has instruction sheets on all the buttons. I haven't seen one of those, but I do quite like them, because they are actually quite fancy. Next we have Organ Music from Cambridge, number 3. The Organ of Chapel Trinity College. It's in very nice condition as well. These came from a charity shop slash warehousey area called Emmaus. And like I say, there wasn't anything mainstream there, unfortunately, like a metal, rock. It was mostly just sort of like usual collection of classical, various bits and pieces, pop and stuff like that. But like I say, a good amount of stuff anyway. Next we have Organ Music from Cambridge, number 5. So like I say, this is the number 5 record. There is a slight change, however, because in the other one it says Dr. Richard Marlowe. This one just says Richard Marlowe. Anyway, cool bit on the back there, showing you the actual organ. I haven't actually visited the organ in Cambridge, because I don't know which one it is. There's like about 4 or 5 different places, because you've got Jesus College Green sort of organ. You've got the main organ that's down the high street near Mill Road. You've got, I think, about 2 or 3 other churches around that area. It's hard to retell which one's which. Anyway, next up we have Renaissance of the Celtic Harp, Alan Stivell. Now, I purely brought this one because I am quite a harp fan, and the Irish harp, or Celtic harp rather, there's a slight difference, but anyway, I do like the harp and it was quite nice. There was one other record that I was tempted to get. It was music of the Renaissance era, I think, or sort of like very old music sort of era, but I didn't really get that one. It was a bit scratched as well. Bach Organ Music, Jenny Dominicks, I think that's how you pronounce it. No idea. Really nice album indeed to get. Nice picture of an old cathedral on the front there. The other cool thing as well is the fact that this came with this on the back. As you can see, that is for the mono stereo. If it has a blue inner sleeve, that means that it's blue, but it's a touchy-feely hole. It's not like that is blue. So if I now pull the record out, it goes, because that is part of the record. So that's pretty cool. So if it's a red sleeve, that means it's mono, but this is blue stereo. So that's really cool. Next we have Horace Finch at the organ of the Empress Ballroom, Blackpool. Very nice album this indeed. Beautiful artwork on the front end. Like I say, people really did put themselves out for these classical albums. That's the other thing as well. Classical albums sort of like had different pictures throughout the years. They had artwork, they had really funky pictures. That's what gets a lot of people. They think, oh, that's a nice album, I'll buy that because it's got nice artwork. Turns out it's a piece of classical. Anyway, there is the Wurlitzer on the back there. A very nice album indeed. Should enjoy listening to all of these. Reginald Dixon plays the magic organ on the continent. These were £2 each as well. Quite expensive, but not too bad. This one, again, I have a lot of Reginald Dixon to listen to, so it's going to be interesting to listen to him. On the back you just have like a load of continent places where basically this is playing from. I think I do have another one that's sort of related to that, but it's a different person. Next we have Dutch band organ. This is one of those player piano sort of whole ones. This sadly has either been water damaged or has gotten wet because it is in really bad condition. The record's perfectly fine, but the cover is in really bad condition. That's what I mean. The hole punch organ, sort of like standalone organ, mechanical organ. Very nice either way. Next we have Polka Marchy. I do like my polka. Yes, I am a strange person. Anyway, with a nice woman on the front. This is basically just accordion, apparently. And it's Andrei Ashtier, it says there. A very nice album indeed. Very, very fancy. Next, from the charity shop that I go to regularly, we have Goon Show Classics Volume 9. Now, I do like my Goon shows, and when I saw these two, oops, I gave it away there. When I saw these two, I definitely had to say, I want this, I want this. Anyway, I only paid £1 for these. Very nice indeed to get. And if you're wondering where the money came from, it was my birthday recently. Well, a while ago, probably when I upload this. Next we have Goon Show Classics Volume 2. I don't have these at all. I have a few of them. There's only about maybe 4 or 5 that I'm now missing in the collection. And then finally, for the records, we have Banjo Spectacular Buckingham Banjos. I do like my banjo music. Sadly, no dueling banjos, but certainly, or Red River Rock, however you call it. The one that basically is a country music that's basically used in every country chase scene. Anyway, speaking of country, let's get on to the VHSs. And the first one we have is Waylon Jennings, the Lost Outlaw Performances. This is basically August 12, 1978. He performed at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, and they never released it because around that era a lot of sort of like the unclean and sort of rebel country music was coming at that time, so everybody was still listening to Jim Reeves, sort of like easy listeners, old crooners that were singing soft-hearted country songs. These people were sort of like singing proper country songs, like what they really meant, sort of like no BS included. It's like a case of, no, I'm going to write this because this has happened. Next we have a flashback to the 80s. We have Jive Bunny and the Mixmasters video album. I absolutely adore this thing. I think the first time I ever heard it was on the satellite television that we've now got. Well, I've had it for a while, but I heard it on there. I think it was at least 10, maybe 10 years ago. I heard it and I just absolutely loved it because it's such a strange thing. Because it's basically just sort of like old video clips spliced together, old 50s, 40s, 30s music spliced all together to make really cool music. It's actually quite nice. Now, there was a collection of Elvis stuff. Sadly, some of the Elvis videos that were there were covered in mould, and that's mould on the VHS tape, which can really screw up your VHS player. I know that, I learnt the hard way. Anyway, this is Elvis Follow That Dream. One that I didn't actually have in the gold cover. A very nice album I shall be listening to or watching later. This is the E-Files 2. Apparently there were 2 of these. This is the conspiracy behind Elvis of who was getting money after he died, why did he die anyway, and was it true that he is dead. But yeah, this is apparently number 2, because it does say number 2 there and number 2 there, and it even says this is the follow-up, so I don't know where the first one is, but I really do want to get that. Next we have Elvis Clam Bake. Quite an interesting one, and another film that I didn't have. Special buy $4.99. I only paid 50p for these. Shows how much videos have gone down. Next we have Young Elvis. Now I might already have some of these on other ones, but again, if I do, I might go and trade them. It just depends. But anyway, look at that, $3.99. Next we have Elvis 68 Comeback Special. Now you might be thinking, oh, you've already got that one. No, I have the 7270 Comeback Special. This is the more better one. This is the one where basically he'd been sort of like, he hadn't been doing a lot of he'd been doing a lot of filming and said, I'm getting bored of this, and then he decided he wanted to go back to singing, and he did. Next we have the legend of country music, and he's still going to this day. We have Willie Nelson, My Life. This is basically a really nice video to get. Has an older price tag from an older charity shop, I would presume, for $5.99. I don't know why, but either way, really nice to get that. Very nice indeed. Next we have the Cockney rhyming duo, Chaz and Dave. This is Chaz and Dave's Street Party, celebrating VE Day for 50 years. And this is actually quite a nice one indeed. I do like these two. I have a lot of cassettes on them, all listened to. And then the next one we have All the Best from Chaz and Dave. This is a really nice album indeed. Also has some outtakes as well. Of back in the day, you had the Jumboree Bag number 2 and 3, which I do have on record, and I think cassette as well. And they actually have the outtakes from when that was shown, because records used to say as seen on television. They used to say that, or they used to show that, and on here are the outtakes of that. As well as Margate, Wish I Could Write a Love Song, Snooker Loopy, which basically include pretty much all the snooker stars back in the day, Poor Old Mr. Woogie, Stars Over 45, Rabbit, There in Your Eyes, My Melancholy Baby, Ain't No Pleasing You. And that is officially it. Sadly, no cassette tapes. There weren't really much at Emmaus, and the car boot I was supposed to go to, it was rained off. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Huge amount of stuff. Now let's go and listen to some of that.